What's going on, guys? Welcome back to CALLOUS Invitational 6 main event, bringing to you the final chronological match of round 1 here. We've got Jester versus Starmaster, which is certainly a good match to go out on. These are honestly two of my favorite players in this pool, and it's really interesting to see them get matched up round 1 with how different they are. Obviously, they're both very skilled, but Star is much more of a known commodity, so to say. He's had a really good SPL, I believe SPL 12, where he beat a lot of people like Fakes and Markop and Endil. He went like 9-2 or something in ADV. It was crazy. Yeah. He can beat Altina. Tons of good results, and he's had tons of good results in CALLOUS Invitational, the past 3 at least. And yeah, he finished well a lot of tours, looking to make a deep run this year. His opponent Jester, on the other hand, definitely does not have the amount of tour results Star does, but he's got a lot of support because he's a newer player. He started a couple of years ago now. He's played in ADVPL and some other team tours like RoPL, all that good stuff. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him play because I always like the sort of reliable teams he brings. Honestly, reliable is a pretty good way to describe both of these players, so should be a good, clean match. And yeah, without dilly-dallying too much, let's see what happens. So, lead matchups, we have Tar versus Tar, and Jester's Tar is faster. It's going to go for a brick break. Doesn't quite knock it out, and Star also going for the brick break. So brick break with leftovers, interesting. I was assuming mixed Tar, but maybe it's pursuit Tar instead. Fire blast. So Jester comes in, Gengar comes in. Eats Jester's fire blast on the way in. Does not kill with Thunderbolt though. That could be big. And it is big. Rock Slide's gonna knock it into Sand Rage. There goes Gengar. In fact, it was mixed Tar from Jester, just not a Lum variant. And there's the HP Grass, so this thing has done a ton of damage. It's knocked both Tar and Pert to pretty much no HP and killed the Gengar. So yeah, really, really great start from Jester there. Starmie is going to come in, force out the Pert, even with the Salic boost. Blissey is going to be the response. So yeah, Jester's just going to go to Skyrim, get his spikes up here. Eats a T-Wave on the way in, but it's pretty unlikely, I think, that Star has a Mag in the back. Could have a Claydol or a Starmie to spin, but it doesn't seem too likely. He probably has his own spikes. Salicpert is interesting on this kind of build. It is going to come into Skyrim on the spikes, get an Endeavor off before it dies to Drill Peck. Jester opting to KO the Pert rather than getting up his second layer here. So both players, some kind of balance build. Star leaning more offensive though with the Gengar and the Salic Pert. And Jester more defensive with the Starmie to spin, Skyrim to spike, and here's Hariyama to really make the chip damage stick. Gonna knock off Star's Skarmory on the way in. And we'll see if Jester wants to just attack to chip it down or go to Starmie right away. Opts to go to Skarmory. Sure, try and match spikes for spikes. And that's actually going to be blocked by a taunt. So Jester is not getting much done in this matchup, and Star will get his second spike or a double switch off here. He opts for the second spike. And might all be for nothing if he doesn't have a second ghost in the back, which is very unlikely. There it goes, rapid spin. He's going to toxic the the Starmie. Sure. Sorry about the cough, I'm a little sick here. Thunderbolt, doing just under half. However, with a little better roll, it's going to KO the Skarmory here, leaving it with just one layer. Jester is opting to spin again, though, on another spike turn. Skyrim's not gaining lefties because it was knocked by the Hariyama, so not looking good. Remains to be seen, Jester still has 2 unrevealed, and he is looking quite ahead here. Does Thunderbolt on the Blissey coming in, so he was hoping to rapid spin as Bliss came in, not Thunderbolt, but Star got the better in that sequence. Doesn't look like the Starmie has recover, else I think it would have gone for it there. So it's actually going to be very low for the rest of the match, even with Natural Cure healing the Toxic off. However, Hariyama's going to get a free Focus Punch off, and yeah, safe to say this is a good time to sack the tire because Star definitely doesn't have a great Focus Punch answer in his last slot. Yeah, meta would not have liked switching into that. It's going to be Leftovers meta, so not Banded. Could still be Agility, which I was going to say might have a shot here, but here comes Pert. So, yeah, honestly, Pert alone is looking threatening at this point with just Hydro Pump and Earthquake. Skyrim's coming in, blanks the Earthquake, sure, and it does have Toxic, so it will be able to harm the Pert meaningfully. But Jester is going to get out of the way, block the Toxic with his own Skyrim, sure. Jester's paralyzed Skyrim obviously isn't going to do anything though, because of the taunt. Goes to Venu, sure. And yeah, even this is looking threatening if it just has HP Fire and Leech Seed. Pretty much all it needs here. But he's going to come in. He can't HP Fire. He can't Leech this turn, obviously, because of taunt. But he can now. And yeah, it's really looking like it's Jester's game to lose here. He is quite ahead. Sleep Powder miss there, a little unfortunate. That's the kind of luck Star's going to have to hope for here. And that's more the kind of luck he's going to have to hope for. T-Wave on the Sleep Powder miss, and then outspeed and crit the Venu with Ice Beam. That's unlucky for Jester, however, it may or may not be enough for Star to pull it back. Focus Punch still terrifying for Star to switch into. And Agilgross, his only win condition here, taking a huge chunk on the way in. Not looking great for Star. Jester just goes straight to Skarmory on the mash. He's not going to eat another one, especially with that boost. However, Starmie's still going to be faster here after the... Unless the Metagross Agilities on the Protect, but no it doesn't. And even still, Pert's at, 100 with 1 spike down. Not exactly prime conditions for meta to bust through. So yeah, it's looking tough for Star here. He has taken out the Skarm, gotten his meta some lefties back. And there's Surf. Not sure if the Pert is faster than Skarm or not, but Jester goes for it, and it is. So that might be game right there, because it's, the only way Star can really deal with this Pert is freezing it with Blissey, which is obviously not the most reliable strategy in the world. Might speed this one up a bit just to get it out of the way. I'll talk. Oh, and that crit Earthquakes, might speed things along even more. I guess maybe, never mind. I was gonna say maybe there's a world where Pert gets stalled out of Earthquake, but it's even got Focus Punch to seal the deal here. So yeah, actually a little more offensive take on the Hariyama spike style that Star even likes to use by Jester with off-Pert Hariyama, Starmie, and Venu. So yeah, that's a really neat team there. I do like the amount of spikes abusers there while still having a really solid defensive core. It's very nice. Star's build is obviously super standard. It's Big 5 meta, but I do like Agile meta on Spike's teams. Just, it helps chip stuff like Pert and other meta into range so easily. as long as you have a plan for like Flygon and Ments, getting them into range and all that, it can be really devastating. Didn't quite work out here. The mix tire from Jester just did so much damage early game. Star pretty much couldn't recover. So yeah, that's game 1. Without too much chatting, let's move on to game 2. And just like last game, we have a mirror match. Zapdos versus Zapdos. Star T-Waves, immediate full para for Jester, and 2 in a row. So much stronger start for Star this time. Turn 3, Jester does get his T-Wave off in the opposing Zap, but it is still faster. Jester's going to switch in Meta, who does not take T-Bolt well at all here. And yeah, it's just going to die to 2 after whiffing what looks like Hidden Power Fire. Rough for Jester. He seems to be quite Zapdos weak. He's going back to his own Zapdos, which full pairs in front of it again. And yeah, the response is going to be Kingdra trying to 3-8 KO with Ice Beam. Has Lum for the T-Wave, sure. Oh, well, luckily, a little bit of luck after all those full paras. He gets a crit, so he does not end with a paralyzed Kingdra. This game going really quick. Let's slow it down. Meta booms the Suicune coming in, making this a 3-3 game after the Dugtrio is going to take out that Breloom. So Jester with a Rain Squad for sure. Gonna switch in Gar on Ments here. What looks like a DD Ments. Does not DD up on the Dugtrio. It opts to raw HP flying. And doubles back. Jester doubles back, gets Dugtrio in on the tire. Interesting play there, and it's going to work out for him. Star's got suit tire, so he cannot OHKO the Dug. However, this could be bad if it is DD Meds. It could just set up and get there. Kingdra is at full, so it will probably eat one. And Jester opts to go to Gar. Sure, DD's up. Depending on what Star's last is, this game could already be over. Kingdra is going to eat Hidden Power Flying and Rain Dance. Oh, the second DD from Star, though, is a little greedy and he gets punished with a Wisp. Although, depending on his last, like I said, he may have had to make that play there. Hope for the Will-O-Wisp to miss. And yeah, could be over right here unless he flinches this Kingdra down. Wow, that was a rapid fire game too. It is 18, 19 turns, and it is looking like a wrap, folks. Hidden Power, Kingdra Rain dances up like we said, and it's just going to click Ice Beam and click Hydro, I imagine. Ment's still faster, goes for 2 crits with Hidden Power Flying, doesn't get either of them, and absolutely blown away by Rain Dance, or by Ice Beam. Here's Pert. Are we going to see an HP Grass? No, just Hydro, but it still does 80% in Rain. And that is going to be more than enough to put Pert into range for the Dug follow-up here. And Protect. Yeah, Star might have to get a, triple Protect to get out of range, I think? Yeah. Well, no, double, I think, gets him out of range, so 50-50 for game. But he does not get it. And there goes the Swampert. And with that, Jester wins the series. 2 pretty short games all said and done, especially game 2, only 23 turns. Although I suppose that's what happens when you mix rain against mixed offense. It's hard to say I like Jester's team and make any meaningful comments because we barely got to see most of the sets. But I do really like Rain in general, and I think Gar's a great pick for the structure. I know there's some that drop Gar for like Snorlax or Celebi or even like a third water. I think Gar's really reliable there. That bring Blissey in and just being another threat that doesn't need to set up, even getting dug in for some traps. I think it's really nice there. And Star's structure, it's even harder to say if I like his or not because we saw even less. Assuming probably CB meta, Breloom, Pursuit Tire, DD Ments, and not an off perk because it did have Protect. But yeah, more of like a balanced mix offense, I guess, with the Pursuit Tire and defensive pert, T-Wave Zap. Definitely trying to chip stuff into range with Breloom to get DD Ments to sweep. Interesting teams from both sides there. But yeah, for the rest of the tour, this means Jester is going into round 2 in the upper bracket, and Star is joining the immensely stacked lower bracket. Let me see if I can remember here. It has people like Triangles, Roro, M Dragon, so many ADV greats are in there. And yeah, it is going to be cutthroat in the lower bracket next round for sure, so stay tuned for that, folks. As for now, I'm sure you're had enough of hearing me ramble, so I'm going to see you all next week, folks.